So now we get to do everybody's favorite, decimals and fractions, everybody's favorite. That's the difference this time. And as we saw actually in the last unit when we ran into decimals and fractions, it wasn't too bad. Because guess what, with decimals, use the calculator. And I get there are fraction calculators, but there's also an easy way to get rid of the fractions as well before we even start. So we're going to use the calculator on this one. So let's start with 0.2 times 10 minus 5c equals 5c minus 16. So I'm going to start by distributing 0.2 to each of these, and you can use your calculator. 0.2 times 10 is 2. Minus 1c, you can put that in the calculator as well. Just using my head here. And then now it just becomes like all the other problems. If there was still a decimal, you have your calculator to use. No reason to fear. Just go through the same steps. Make sure you're careful with the way you enter it. But from there, it's just all integers, which is kind of nice. So we have 2 minus 6c equals negative 16. Subtract the 2. Negative 6c equals negative 18. And last, divide the negative 6. And c equals 3. So that's it for the decimals. You have another one here that you can work out. Once again, just use the calculator for that. Let's go ahead and look at fractions now. So we'll have 1. Let me move this up. It's in my way. All right. So 1/2 r minus 3 equals 3 times 4 minus 3/2. Now there's different ways you can approach fractions with the parentheses. Sometimes people like to try to get rid of the fractions before the parentheses. In this case, that doesn't work. Let me look over here. That doesn't work as well because we have a fraction inside the parentheses. So if you have a fraction inside the parentheses, let's distribute first. And you could always just distribute first anyways and then get rid of the fractions. That'll work every time. So that's 1/2 r minus 3 equals 12 minus, now think of this as 3 over 1. So fractions, we multiply the numerators. 3 times 3 is 9 over 1 times 2 is 2. Just in case you're wondering where those came from, that's where they came from, just multiplying across there. And I don't need to forget the r. So now, what could we multiply everything by to get rid of the fraction? Well, if I multiply everything by 2, that'll cancel out the fractions for both of these, and life will be easy. So I'm going to times 2 on this side, times 2 on this side. So 2 times 1/2, well, that's just going to be r. Then 2 times 3 is negative 6. Then 2 times 12 is 24. And then 2 times 9 over 2, the 2's just cancel. You're left with 9. You can think of it as 2 times 9 is 18 divided by 2. It's still 9, so it gets you the same thing. Now we got rid of all the fractions. So what seemed difficult is actually easy now. So I'm going to go ahead and solve. So I'll add the 9r over here to the other r. Have 10r minus 6 equals 24. Add the 6 over. 10r equals 30. Divide by 10. And r equals 3. And there you have it. There's our fractions and decimals. Normally what seems very difficult is actually not that bad.